Hello. It's Morgan Wednesday. Of the devil in the middle of the week. And also last stream before ASN because I could have and probably should have taken this day off because I'm busy starting tomorrow, day 0. But you know what? I did all of my necessary crunch things. And theoretically I'm done. It's just the thing of if I have a task, including play fun game, I'm like, that's a thing that I have to do and therefore I'm busy. When the reality is I have time. I had time before and after the stream to do whatever other incidental tasks may come up. But also, yay, Morgan cosplay this weekend. I posted on socials, kind of terribly lit and therefore difficult to make out quick cause test that I did of Morgan. She's still a work in progress. There's a couple of accessories and whatnot that'll have to get replaced over time. I am planning on wearing Morgan this weekend on Sunday at ASN, sort of as like a casual test run of Morgan. And then I want to bring her to the Yuri cafe in June in Chicago, if anybody's in the area and planning on going to that. It's the day before the Ace Attorney Cup sleeve that myself and Neutral Godox are running. We're hosting a Pride-themed cup sleeve in June. And there's a Yuri cafe same weekend to the day before that. So I will probably just be gay lawyers for an entire weekend. What else was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of our Ace Attorney Cup sleeve, if you're at ASN, I'm going to be at the Ace Attorney meetup on Friday. And also I'm going to be there the entire weekend, and we have little cards to give out of cup sleeve information for our next event, as well as any future events that are coming up. If you're in the Chicagoland area and you would like to decorate some top loaders and celebrate Pride with fellow lawyer game enjoyers, you know where to find us. Anyway, I'm very excited. I do not know how much of this case is left, but I feel like it's not going to all get resolved in this one trial phase. I feel like this is not going to be the end of this case today's stream, but we shall see. We did just start. Thank you for your presence here today, Detective London. In light of the new evidence, I'd like to go over the death of Dr. Asher one more time. What happened Friday night? Oh, also, I was watching back the VOD and the game sounds a little bit louder than I wanted it to, so we're gonna turn it down a little bit and hope that's better. Wait. What happened Friday night? At 6:30 p.m., David Asher spoke on the phone with his lover, and the two of them broke things off. Lover? It's an accurate description of their relationship, isn't it? I wouldn't know. That stuff's private. I don't know. And the deceased met with Noble VP Helen Jung in his parlor starting around 7:30 p.m. He then left the parlor and the sight lines of his home security system before reappearing on his before reappearing on his private secondary security system in his basement moments later. At which point the android Sarah can be seen handing him the poison he'd go on to drink. And do you see that android in the courtroom? Yeah, she's the green-haired one that's frowning at me. Oh. Let the record show that the android Sarah has been identified at the scene of the crime. No objections. Huh? None? Then why'd I even show up? Detective London, what happened next? Asher went upstairs and shared a drink with Miss Jung. Within a few minutes, he was being airlifted to the hospital, where he was soon declared dead. We know that the poison could be produced in his nanofactory, which Sarah had access to just up the stairs in his workshop.
So Sarah had ample opportunity to procure the poison, and Sarah handled Dr. Asher's cup immediately before he did.
Is there a question in that statement, Your Honor?
I'll rephrase. Was anyone else seen handling Dr. Asher's cup before he died?
No.
I have no further questions.
Girl.
So that's your witness, counselor.
He wasn't lying per se, but there was some ambiguity in the statement he gave. Truth's gotta come out one way or another. If Emma won't push, I'll have to pull. Ooh, talk screen. Basement footage. Whiskey. Oh shit, hold on. They broke up over the phone. And at 7:30 p.m. Helen Young arrived. They spoke briefly and he went downstairs to get drinks for them. Cameras in the basement show Sarah handing him the cups and the whiskey. I don't think she handed him the whiskey. I think he got the whiskey himself. So after he came back to the parlor and started drinking, it wasn't long until he lost consciousness and died. Drinking poison whiskey while he thought he was having a toast. Don't know if that's a good way or a bad way to go out. I heard a slight slip up in there. Could go nowhere, but at this stage I need to pick out every loose thread I can. Okay, I think that's what it is. I would like to look at our stuff again, though. I'm pretty sure it's the whiskey. Can I not look at? Hold on. There we go. Basement footage. Yeah, she's just handing him the red plastic cups. I think he already has that. I wish we could look at this closer. I think you can turn off the time questions and settings. It's fine. I'll leave it. It'll be okay. The whiskey. Bottle of Rose River. Forensics analysis show. Fuck. I'm pretty sure it's that. It's one of those things where if I was playing on my own, it wouldn't be such a problem that they're timed. But because I'm reading things out loud, it takes an additional second for me to process things. If I was playing on my own, perfect amount of timing. But also I don't mind it so much because I can just go back and reread it. Handing David the red plastic cups. I'm pretty sure that's the issue. I don't see any other issues in there. They broke up over the phone. At 7:30, Helen Young arrived. They spoke briefly and he went downstairs to get drinks for them. Yeah, I'm calling this. Fuck, I forgot. Open your mouth without thinking, huh? There's only room for one airhead in this courtroom and it's not you. It's me. Of course, Your Honor. I'm pretty sure it's basement footage. Hold on, go again. I got it this time, I promise. Yarg. Check that footage again, Detective London. We only see Sarah handing the victim a cup. He had already retrieved the whiskey himself. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Detective London just wasn't being specific enough, Your Honor. But it matters little since it was David's cup, not the whiskey bottle that was poisoned.
Weird flex, but okay.
And that undeniable fact is shown clearly in security footage. Sarah hands him a cup after he was ready to leave.
True, she did call David back. And handed him a cup of poison? That wouldn't make sense. That seems logical. That wouldn't make sense. If the cup was already poisoned, don't you think David would have noticed it wasn't empty?
Well, not necessarily. The lethal dose could have been quite small. If it were just a droplet, he could have easily overlooked it. For Sarah, this crime was very simple. There was too little to the plan for anything to go wrong. Once she handed it off, she just had to wait for him to drink from his cup.
Is that all she'd have needed to do? It wasn't guaranteed from that point. That wasn't enough to poison David. I need to look at... Because it was serotonin that was in there. There's a fly on my window. Unrelated to anything. Hold on. Let me look at the serotonin really quick. Okay, that's not enough. Where's the autopsy? 20 milligrams. What does 20 milligrams look like? No, I don't think that was enough to poison David. Not a great plan if that was really Sarah's move. She gave him 2 cups. How could she have known which cup David would drink from?
There are a few ways to go about it. But it's only a 50-50 shot, counselors. Stranger things have happened.
There's no way to know the right cup. It's possible that she knew the right cup. No. Don't try and bluff me, Rockford. There was no difference between the cups.
It's not a bluff. Sarah handed the cups to him in one stack, with the poison hidden in the bottom cup. She knew David was courteous and would pour for his guest first.
Fuck.
So he wouldn't even look into the poison cup until he was already pouring. Cold-blooded patricide, executed by taking calculated advantage of Dr. Asher's kindness.
Damn, she was luring me in with those easy answers. And I fell for it.
Now, are there some questions you'd like to ask the detective when he's available? Or are you done already?
I was just about to get started. Even if I didn't have questions, I'd make some up just to spite you at this point. But I can do better than that. Yay, blackjack time. Now, what can I get London to say that would help my case? I don't think it's realistic to say that to base our entire thing on David being... I know he was a good host, but he wasn't necessarily the most considerate person. Anyway. Detective London, in their capacity as assistants to the police force, are androids ever asked to commit acts of violence? Yeah, I guess so. They can push people, restrain them, harm them. And does that constitute a violation of their tenets? Harming the people they're supposed to protect? Well, as I understand it, there might be some complex weighting math that goes into it, but no, it's not breaking any tenets. For that to be the case, they'd have to have tenet 1, right? May not injure, through an action lead to blah, blah, blah. Yes, I suppose that would have to be the case, wouldn't it? You asking me? Fuck! This is far outside his expertise. Asking him these kinds of technical questions accomplishes nothing other than making us both look dumb to the jury. That involved crime Sarah in the footage. Oof. Detective, in the footage we just saw, could you see what Sarah was doing? Not exactly, no. Her back was to the camera and her hands were obscured. Could you see her hands from any other clip of camera footage retrieved from the basement? No. Did you or anyone else participating in the investigation ever see Sarah put anything into David Asher's cup? No. The footage submitted to the record is the best available view of what happened. Wouldn't Sarah's eyes record it the best? Oh. I'm gonna... I'm staying for a second. I'm scared now. I feel like this might go into somewhere more technical. But it is about crime, so maybe it'll be fine. Detective, do you know how many violent incidents the city's police have investigated in the last year? Not the exact number. Thousands, though? Yeah, around there. And of those thousands of incidents of violence, do you know how many of them were found to be the fault of automated dependents? I believe there's been 6 in the last 5 years. Were all 6 of them incidents of police licensed ad-involved brutality? Relevance, Your Honor? Withdrawn. How many tenets protect humans? No, he doesn't know that shit. We're going back to this. What about the view from the android itself? Well, yeah. If we could see through the android's eyes, that'd be pretty conclusive. If we could trust any data touched by her. Fucking Christ. Right. Suppose we'll just have to settle for the one camera angle we got. Fine, we'll go with the tenets. As an aside, detective, do you know how many tenets are recognized in this country? 110? 112 as of this year. Couldn't you have given me that one? Do you know how many of those tenets pertain to protecting humans from harm? That one I do know. Hey, there we go. 41. And lastly, detective, how many times in the last, say, century have we seen automated dependents break their tenets? 5 times is the agreed upon number. So if you were to tally that all up and try to make an evaluation as a police officer charged with protecting civilians, overall, you would say that automated dependents in general are how dangerous to the public? The witness is not an expert on automated dependents, Your Honor. He's more than qualified to say whether they have a history of violence, Your Honor. Aw, what the heck? Let him answer. I would have to say that they are not dangerous. Normally that would have bought me some doubt with the jury, but this isn't a traditional trial. At least I can say that I shored up my own confidence. All right, seems like that's as close as I'm gonna get to blackjack. Yeesh, that one was rough. I believe I've made my point. I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor. Then we can move on to the next item on the docket. Looks like Emma wants to introduce some new evidence. I call Sarah to the stand. The android? Can she even do that? Approach, Your Honor? So, how am I supposed to do the Dio line in the Junko voice? So you're a chime ting? God. I feel like I should at least. Oh, you're approaching me? I believe it's me that they wanted to speak with. I didn't even get to finish my line. Now then. What the hell are you doing, Rockford? Took the words right out of my mouth. I have questions for the android. This seemed like the best way to get answers. You can't call an android as a witness. It's not a person. There's plenty of precedents for it. Ads provide testimony all the time. Not when they're on trial. Sarah isn't on trial. You are. Sarah's accused of being an AI. That means you don't trust a word out of its mouth. If the witness isn't to be trusted, the court can decide that for itself after hearing their testimony. Why the ambush? Why do you list this as entering evidence, D.A. Rockford? Only people can be witnesses, Your Honor, and ads don't have legal personhood. Evidence seemed like the best worst descriptor. You know I can't make an android swear an oath. Rockford is just trying to spoil your opinion, Your Honor. The more this court treats Sarah like a person, the more you'll see her as human. And the weaker my case becomes in your eyes. Nice try, counselor. But we don't have time to worry about my impartiality. Okay, that's a normal thing to say. You're free to call for a mistrial if you want, but the state will have turned Sarah to slag before you even finish signing your motion. Rockford's calling a witness that is blatantly hostile to her case. If the witness is hostile, so be it. It did kill a man, after all. Allegedly. What about the right to avoid self-incrimination? Who's the one treating Sarah like a person now? Androids don't have rights. Damn it, that's The android will take the stand. Your Honor, I've made my decision. And if Sarah refuses to take the stand, are you going to charge it with contempt of court? If the machine won't talk, you'll make every effort as its owner to ensure that it does. And if it disobeys you, then we'll have our answer about its sentience right then and there. Yes, Your Honor. Shit.
What's going on?
The DA is going to question you on the stand.
What? But I shouldn't...
Listen to me. You don't have a choice right now. This is happening. Tell the truth, but be concise. The more robotic, the better. Yes or no's only if you can. Would using affirmative and negative be laying it on too thick?
But I don't know. If I make a mistake, all these people, they want to destroy me.
If you make a mistake, your lawyer will just have to cover for you. Understand?
Yes.
You are the android identified as Sarah, correct?
Yeah. Affirmative.
No. Do you deny that this camera footage shows you handling the poisoned cup? Objection. Oh, that's a new sprite. Objection. It remains to be seen whether the cup itself was definitively poisoned. Yes, yes. Sarah, do you deny handing that cup to David Asher?
Negative? I have no memory of the incident, so I can neither confirm nor deny it.
Do you have any reasoning, any excuse for your actions, for failing to notify police of crucial information?
I do not have any records from that day, so I never had anything to tell anyone.
Very well. Counselor? The journal, if you will? This could be a slaughter. Of course. Do you recognize this item?
It's a journal that belongs to Dr. David Asher. I have seen him write in it on many occasions.
And have you any knowledge of its contents?
Negative.
You don't have to answer that, actually. Tell the court what you see here in this footage.
I see myself reading the journal in the basement.
This footage was captured on Friday, the day you claim to have no memory of. So regardless of what you do or don't remember, we know that you read this journal hours before David Asher died.
That is logical.
I'd like you to read some passages from it for the court. Can you do that?
Of course.
This is mean. This is mean and evil to me. Page 238, the 10th line.
Sarah is growing faster than I ever expected, beyond my wildest dreams or fears. Today, she...
Continue, please.
Today, she broke every password I have in the house. Said she was curious. I can't expect to keep things from her forever.
Page 251, line 12.
I've gravely underestimated the scope of things. Sarah could change everything, and I don't think I could stop her. He wasn't...
Page 263. Damn it. If this keeps up, Sarah's going to fall to pieces up there. Oh god, make her endure. Raise an objection. I don't think I have anything, do I? I really don't think I have anything. That's David's contract versus journal. Fuck it, we'll try. Probably punish us, but... Badgering, Your Honor. Badgering what witness, counselor? I'm just making the android do some simple tasks. Fuck, I didn't think I had anything. Damn it, I can't raise an objection when Sarah's got no legal status for me to defend.
Page 263, I said. I think Sarah was angry today. When I came back from work, she had ripped how the fuck do you read that? A shin alloy plate in half? She said that she was testing her strength, but the cameras... That was... Page 267. Sarah scared me today.
If she starts bawling on the stand, it's all over. Your Honor, I fail to see the value in continuing this line of questioning. Dr. Asher was wary of a highly experimental android he was building, as any good scientist would be. That's been established. Do the people have a counter-argument?
I have just one last question, if it pleases the court.
Let's hear it!
This footage was captured in the basement on Friday at around 5:30 p.m. Tell the court what you see. I see myself, standing where I was when I read the journal. I'm speaking to someone who's off camera, and I appear agitated, and I stomp my foot. And what happens to the floor after you stomp your foot? A large crack is made in the vulcanized polymer. The crack in the floor. And I walk off camera toward whomever I had been speaking to.
Speaking or shouting? Asked and answered.
Not really, but I'll withdraw the comment nonetheless.
Your witness, counselor, or evidence if you prefer. Damn, I knew she could cherry pick all the worst passages from the journal, but still. If Barrows wasn't wavering before, should I try to have Sarah read the mushy parts? No, the waterworks would start after only a few lines. Emma went to all that trouble to show how emotionally developed Sarah is. Proving that she loved David like a father would be playing right into her hand. What do you say, counselor? Got some burning cues for the android to answer? Yes, Your Honor, just one moment. Emma went for emotion and the impact was devastating. So all I can do is focus on the facts. So let's flip this around. Say Sarah absolutely didn't poison David. If that's the case, why did she call him back on his way out of the basement? Wait, that's... I'd like to ask you to read from the journal again, Sarah.
You would? From where?
From the section that explains what you were actually trying to do that night. The section of this journal detailing his early career, his newfound fame, how he made Sarah. I think how he made Sarah. The latest sections of the journal are all about Sarah. I fucked up. If she reads any more of that, she'll burst into tears and my case will go up in flames. His newfound fame, his early career, because that's when he and Helen would hang out, right? Yeah. Look around the early section. There should be an entry talking about an early victory at Noble. Relevance? The people will see in just one moment that this story is the key to the entire case.
Got approval from overseas. I have to make pitch again this week, Jung says. Brought me a stack of plastic cups. Here's to a bright future together. And then on this next page, another victory for the young and sleepless. Helen convinced the president of Futures over lunch that my code should be the basis for the Animate 13's conversational tracking. She insisted on toasting, the same crappy booze in the same cheap cups. Wants to make a tradition.
Plastic cups and liquor. A ritual between Helen Young and David Asher, who were about to have a drink together Friday night. Something you want to say, counselor? Let's put all our cards on the table, shall we? You want to compare theories? If you'd rather I end this now, I'll be happy to oblige. Here's what we know. Sarah read that journal and discovered what she was. It infuriated her, and she wanted revenge for being kept under her maker's thumb. That very night, she got her chance when Dr. Asher came down looking for a drink. So, like clever little helper she is, she offered him a cup to drink out of. We're completely in agreement on all that. So you also agree that the cup was poisoned, and that Sarah's responsible for his death? Not quite. It's not a bad explanation, Miss Rockford, but it is terribly complex. There's a much simpler reasoning for why Sarah did what she did. Oh my god. Sarah's papers, Jung's story. Actually, hold on. The story from the journal. You're saying Sarah wasn't planning anything. She was just being considerate. That's so sweet. But I don't follow it, like, at all. It's actually quite simple. Sarah's not an AI. She only threw a tantrum that day because she found out she was being spied on. A realistic reaction for an android designed to be realistic. David Asher set her memory to be cleared himself because he wanted to preserve the experiment he was running. Sarah didn't hatch a plan to poison him using an obscure chemical acquired from the lab. And she didn't subtly manipulate David into drinking from only one of 2 cups. Because the android read the whole journal that day. Meaning she also read how David and Jung used to celebrate. And so when she saw David was leaving the basement without the nostalgic cups, she called him back to hand them to him. Simple, right? Simple enough for me. Not nearly good enough for me. What's more likely, Miss Rockford? That a well-made, clever android proposed a sentimental addition to 2 friends' evening? Or that a homegrown AI with groundbreaking physical and digital abilities concocted a complicated poisoning scheme? Just to kill an unimposing man. All on camera, mind you, before voluntarily submitting to a memory wipe. People make all kinds of stupid mistakes when they commit crimes, Counselor. We shouldn't expect an AI to act much differently. Is it stupid or dangerous? Can't have it both ways, Your Honor. We can if it's ignorant of its power and still immature. A deadly trait to have in an AI that's capable of anything. Shall we see what Sarah's capable of then, Your Honor? What? You can't be... Your Honor, that's... The people open the door. True, and I can't resist open doors. Let's do it. What are you even... Sarah, David Asher was your creator and your designated owner, correct? Should I still be using affirmative? And now that title falls to me. Yes? Great, thank you. Now turn off. What? Shut down, that's a command. Sniz. Power on. What are you? Off. On. Adonai, I don't... Off. Sniz. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what this fearsome machine menace is capable of. I can put it to sleep with one word. So how could David Asher ever be threatened by it? Scary. Scary good logic. You've made your point, Counselor. Let's move it along. I've no further queries for the machine, Your Honor. No. Thank you. For flipping you off and on? Can't imagine that was comfortable. It wasn't. But I wasn't referring to that. Since yesterday, I've been searching for an answer to why I appeared on that camera. I know I would never hurt Father, but... You helped me prove that to myself just now. Adonai? Pardon me, I need to focus. Everything depends on this next witness. The people call Helen Jung to the stand. Helen Jung, Vice President of Android Futures at Noble Electronics, Eastern Division. Miss Jung, you were there the night Dr. Asher died. And you were on camera the entire time. That's correct. So what did you see that night? I arrived at 7:30 p.m., as you know.
David and I talked in the parlor, then he left to retrieve some refreshments for us. After drinking together for a short while, he fell ill. I contacted emergency services and I'm sure you're all tired of hearing the same details over and over by now.
The same details over and over aren't going to hold up anymore, Madam Veep. It's still unclear to me whether Young's more concerned with protecting herself or the almighty company. But it'll clear up real fast if I can turn up the pressure on her here and now. Okay, we got journal. We got arbitration. We got Young's story.
I came to David's at 7:30. We chatted for a short while about some low-priority work, nothing heavy. Before long, he offered to fetch us some refreshments. When he came back, we shared a drink together. At the time, I didn't notice anything strange. We were just reminiscing. I didn't think his life was in danger. But then he became ill. So I ran to the kitchen to activate his emergency console, and I did what I could up until he was gone.
She's trying to paint a different picture of what happened that day. I can't let her set the tone as she pleases. Okay. This doesn't seem right at all. I don't think it was low priority work. I'm pretty sure they were firing him, right? Yeah. Jung set up the meeting and controlled every aspect from the refreshments to the timing, in line with coworkers' descriptions of her detail-oriented personality. Yeah, they were handling the arbitration that day. Right. Noble lawyers. Yeah. That's not correct. Bitch. Nothing heavy. You're both more professional than I realized. Since only hours earlier you had run a meeting in which his employment was terminated. His employment wasn't terminated at the arbitration you're referring to. His resignation was merely agreed upon. Yes, and we can all imagine how grateful he felt about the whole process. David didn't hold grudges. Our conversation wasn't about that. The fact that you had fired him that afternoon didn't come up? Asked and answered. Who initiated the meeting at his penthouse? I arrived unannounced. So you weren't invited. Very cordial indeed. If he didn't want to see me, he could have stopped me at the elevators. Could he have? Noble owned that entire building, down to the wiring. Counsel is badgering the witness, Your Honor. Huh? Right, should we execute her for that then? No need. If I can just continue my questioning, we can finally start addressing the elephant in the room. Where? Oh, I see. That was merely a joke. Hilarious. Miss Young, Noble Electronics owns a patent for and produces the synthetic biochemical known as serotonin, correct? That's correct. It's used in our warm models to facilitate integration and communication between organic and synthetic components. It's an artificial neurotransmitter? Essentially, yes. Synthetic analog serotonin was the original name. Did you bring the sample I requested to the courtroom today? I did. Serotonin is produced on site at our assembly lines as a caramel-tinted solution, including water and a few non-reactive organic byproducts. Your analysis, Your Honor? Working on it. It's odorless and tasteless. Solution of water and organic byproducts, you said. If that solution were ingested, most of it would look right at home in a human body. I suppose. But the serotonin would stand out, wouldn't you say? It's not a naturally occurring compound, so yes. And it's a perfect match for the substance previously labeled Delta. And the sample we collected from the nanofacturer preset in Dr. Asher's lab? That's a bingo! The witness's brown stuff matches with your brown stuff to a T.
In light of this evidence and the witness's testimony, I'm gonna look at that really quick. Vial of synatonin, caramel-colored chemical solution used in manufacturing more androids provided by Helen Young to the court. Exact match for Delta. I motion that the court formally recognizes that Dr. Asher's cause of death was synatonin poisoning. I don't object, Your Honor. But I'm afraid that I must. Girl. Excuse me? Synatonin may very well have been in his body when he died, but synatonin didn't kill Dr. Asher. Are you going to drink that? What the hell is she up to? It couldn't have. It couldn't kill anybody. What? Because it's non-toxic, of course. We designed it to affect androids, not people. Hold on, you're now claiming that Dr. Asher died of, what, natural causes? I can't say what he died of, I'm not a medical expert. But I can easily prove that synatonin is harmless. How can you... Like so. Huh. Didn't see that one coming. What? What? That ain't good. Bailiff, contact the hospital immediately. I told you, it's fine. Close enough, welcome back, the Grade A's attorney. But... I can stand here all day if necessary. What in the... And what you just drank was... several hundred times the amount found in Dr. Asher's body. Why didn't you say anything until now? Noble Electronics is a multinational corporation with patents filed all over the world. We take the protection of our trade secrets very seriously. The production and nature of synatonin is closely guarded. That guard remains up even during a murder investigation. Unfortunately. I would have been able to tell you earlier had you asked me directly. What the hell kind of... This can't be right. Nothing makes sense. Did she say nothing else makes sense? Yeah, nothing else makes sense. Boy, howdy, I'm lost as hell. But do you have any other questions, Rocky Bird? Not at the moment, Your Honor. And the defense? Oh wait, that's not Morgan. And the defense? The prosecution's own witness just threw the entire case into question. Normally this would be cause for celebration, but shadow of a doubt isn't enough this time. Barrows would much rather bring down the gavel early than let a potential AI walk free. What Jung did was shocking, but what I need to do hasn't changed. Think this through logically. Is it really possible that synatonin had nothing to do with David's death? No, that's bullshit. It can't be a coincidence. There's nothing else that would have killed him. But Jung just drank synatonin in front of us and she's fine. So was it fake? No, it was confirmed by the court computer to be the genuine article. So she drank poison but isn't showing any symptoms. Is it slow acting? If so, her grand gesture would be pointless. She'll be kept for observation regardless of what happens next. Did she take some kind of antidote beforehand? No, antidotes are developed for poisons, not industrial chemicals. David's dead, she's alive. What made the difference? Wake up! No sleeping on the job. Unless you're me. Of course, Your Honor. Allow me one moment to explain things to the court. I'm gonna save again because I'm nervous, I say, even though I just keep barreling through regardless. We're honestly like... I feel like we're generally fine and will continue to be fine. Even if we fuck up real bad. We've confirmed just now that synatonin was the foreign compound in his body. And we all know, logically, that it must have been what killed I added the word doctor in there, David Asher. So what's the key difference between what David drank that night and what she drank in front of us just now? Chromophia. This is kind of what I was thinking. The pigment is different. Oh, or because it was mixed with the alcohol? Hmm. I need to look at the chromophage again.
Changing its color from red to pink. It's either the chromofuge or the alcohol. No, they were both drinking. Wait, that doesn't have anything to do with now. She's not drinking now. I think it's the alcohol. God, I'm not sure which one it is. The pigment is like... She drank exactly what David did. Yeah, no, there's no... I think it's the alcohol, fuck it. The difference has been staring us in the face this whole time. That's... Do you recognize this, Miss Young? That's the whiskey bottle that Dr. Asher and I drank from. Rose River. It's a good whiskey. And I think you had the right idea. Pardon? Bottoms up. Smooth. What? I don't know. Dear God, counselor. Scandalous. Relax, it's just whiskey. Tested a dozen times over. Perfectly safe. So would you like to try some, Miss Young? Don't be absurd. I'm not going to drink on the witness stand. Have you lost your mind? I'm not asking you to get plastered, just have a sip. After all, if we want to prove whether or not Cinetonin killed Dr. Asher, we have to recreate the conditions under which he ingested it. By mixing it with alcohol. Go ahead then. Just a taste. Prove to us that Cinetonin is perfectly safe for human consumption. Is this... Can she do this? Miss Young, I never said it was safe for human consumption. Just that it's non-toxic. A distinction without a difference. You saw firsthand Dr. Asher confused, slurring his speech, complaining of a headache, all symptoms of poisoning. Alcohol poisoning, that is. Oh, the Cinetonin didn't kill him, it just made... Did it just lower his ability to process the alcohol that much? Did it shut down his liver or something? Cinetonin is a neurotransmitter analog. Maybe it doesn't do anything in the human body on its own, but in combination with alcohol, it acts as a powerful depressant. One strong enough to turn a glass or two of whiskey into a lethal overdose, or that. That's just... Even if that is the case, what does it change? It changes whether or not we can accept the witness's testimony. Even if this witness is a liar, what does that change? Why would the witness lie if not to? She's a corporate climber. I imagine it's like breathing for her. Your Honor, this is wild, but ultimately irrelevant. Irrelevant? When you've yet to establish an alternative interpretation of the facts, yes. What are you even accusing the witness of doing, Counselor, beyond angling for a promotion? We've all seen the story by now. Noble android saves soldier's life with warm blood transfusion. Hey, we know things about that. They're talking about putting warm androids in the military just because of that headline. With the size of their flesh and blood price tag, a defense contract like that would secure Noble untold profits for years. So imagine the lengths they'd go to hide the fact that their androids have poison in their veins. Dawes told me the truth about what Noble really thinks of that article, but he'd never testify to it. At least I know for sure Emma's wrong about this poisoned blood nonsense. And you think she'd perjure herself for that? She's a high-powered corporate executive. It's her job to assess risk versus reward. And she can afford the fine. As I said, it's not truly poisonous. And the chances of cross-contamination from a simple plasma transfusion are... Damn, now she's regaining her composure, too. Perjury charge is a real risk, of course, but Noble rewards loyalty. And as you know, they have a great number of lawyers. Plenty of motive to lie about Cinetonin, as you can see. But no motive for her to cover up the death of Noble Electronics' Golden Goose. No motive to kill David Asher, you say? I mean, I can think of several motives. Fraud. Starling and David texted. Brown, don't drink it. Don't drink it. The question is which one's stronger evidence, though. David would keep ownership of his patents if terminated. David couldn't be terminated without serious cause. Serious cause includes only fraud or worse. Fraud defined as manipulating company data. Oh my god. Okay, Starling and what was in Starling's text? I don't think it's Starling's text. I think it's entirely unrelated. But I just want to double check. Yeah, this was to meet about Sarah. And then what was that last one? The vial. Brown, don't drink it. It's not the vial. She has no motive. I think it's her contract. His contract. My apologies. There's oh, fuck, the music didn't stop. There's plenty of motivation for her and Noble to want David dead. Seeing as how they were firing him. Oh, thank God I got it right. Noble Electronics was kicking their golden goose out of the nest. Suing him over a breach of contract. Isn't that right?
I don't have to talk about that.
That's all right. I'll talk about it for you.
Your Honor, counsel is trying to testify when they're supposed to be questioning.
The people opened the door when they claimed that the witness had no motive.
This is absurd. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure I can speak for the whole court when I say we feel nothing but reverent awe for the complexity of Noble's legal woes. But I just so happen to have an inkling of insight into this issue. Because I have here a copy of Dr. Asher's employment contract.
That is confidential. It's completely improper for you.
Why? I am still, technically, his attorney.
Criminal attorney?
But I didn't just stumble across this document. I also did the one thing Noble Electronics would never expect anyone to do. I read their terms and conditions.
You what?
That's impossible. No one could ever. David must have negotiated well at his last performance review. This contract allows him to take his patents with him should he get fired. Meaning Noble couldn't monopolize his IP once he was out. Rather than let their competitors have him, the company might have thought it best to...
A company didn't poison David Asher, Counselor. An individual did. And if they cared that much about controlling his intellectual property, they wouldn't fire him in the first place.
Correct. They wouldn't let him go for anything less than a complete breakdown of trust. He'd have to have done something grave. Something like, say, committing fraud? Just now you said there was a breach of contract, like it was some kind of technicality that was causing the split. But it was much more serious than that, wasn't it?
You're claiming the victim committed corporate fraud? Where is the evidence of that?
David created the Turing solution that every one of their androids has to run on to this day. And Noble reaped enormous profits capitalizing on his intellectual property. With how his contract was set up, they would never let him go unless they absolutely had to.
And what exactly do you think David Asher did?
It's not what I think that matters. Only what the company fears. David never hurt Noble. Ah! Okay. Tenets. Manufacturer. Is it Sarah that they're worried about? The shipped A16s I'm also curious about. I don't know if that's a now thing, though. Number of individual models being swapped out for shipping. Signs of being tampered with. David created the Turing solution that every one of their androids is run on to this day. And Noble reaped enormous profits capitalizing on his intellectual property. With how his contract was set up, they would never let him go unless they absolutely had to. I think it's Sarah. David Asher was working on an android in private and keeping Noble in the dark about it. What are you suggesting? That fuck. That he used sick days to build her instead of vacation days? Hardly the kind of offense they'd be willing to part with their lead programmer over. Ugh, this is the wrong move. If I admit here and now that David was hiding illicit research from Noble, Sarah's sentence is as good as carried out. Okay, that's fair. In that case. It doesn't matter what I believe, not when Noble believed that David was misleading the shareholders by altering shipment data for the Animate 16. What the hell? What is this you're uploading? Shipping records? Irregularities among shipments of the Animate 16. One android swapped in for another, over and over, dozens of times. The kind of thing someone with Dr. Asher's authority could do. And the kind of thing someone as smart as you couldn't have missed. Dr. Asher made Noble an untold amount of money, so why fire him over a few harmless swaps? Why elevate this to fraud? You have evidence that it was David Asher who did this? Nope, but I wasn't the one who investigated it. So let's ask her. Come on now, let's hear it. Let's. The company investigated and found cause for serious concern. We suspected that Dr. Asher was inserting androids of unknown origin and quality into the 16th product line, introducing unpredictable elements in an extremely stable and profitable generation of androids. Why would he do that? For pride? As a practical joke? Does it really matter? He endangered the future of the company. So you're prepared to fire him? Yes. I approached him as his superior and as someone he'd once worked with. I hope to remedy the situation. Was the meeting on Friday part of those efforts? It was the culmination of those efforts. And in many ways, it was a success. The dispute was resolved swiftly. It was practically friendly compared to how these discussions normally go in our world. So you brokered the meeting? Yes. You oversaw its every detail? Handled all the arrangements? Yes, of course. Including the refreshments? What? Did you provide coffee? Tea? No. Strange. It must have been a long meeting. Surely you at least provided... Fuck, what is she holding in that picture? I don't remember. Surely you at least provided water for people.
What are you asking, counselor?
That's what I want to know.
Me as well.
We're past the point of asking. I'm accusing. Dr. Asher didn't have some kind of freak medical accident, and he wasn't killed by some terrifying two-faced AI boogeyman. He was poisoned by this woman in the light of day at that meeting Friday afternoon.
She really just... What do you mean poisoned at the meeting? That was hours before he showed any symptoms.
As Miss Jung testified and demonstrated, serotonin on its own is harmless. But it becomes fatal pretty easily. You just need to convince your victim to have a drink.
You're saying he ingested the poison at noon and
Inadvertently triggered a fatal reaction with it that night?
But how could you go so far ahead of yourself?
There were a dozen people at that meeting, counselor. None of them wound up dead. Are you seriously claiming that they all drank poisoned water? All of them drank poison? Not all of them drank poison. I don't think all of them drank poison, right? David was the only one to fall ill, so... But he fell ill because he drank from that water. Others must have drunk it too, so we must reason that they were poisoned as well. Take all the time you need getting there. So why aren't they all dead? Because, as all those people will surely attest, Helen Jung made sure they'd be doing paperwork for the next 12 hours. Working late into the night officiating the settlement she arranged. And not drinking alcohol.
She had no guarantee about that. What if they started drinking after 6?
With Noble's work-life harmony? Fat chance. These people don't clock out until they reach their bunk. Only a generational talent like David Asher could afford to relax with a drink on a Friday night. His exceptionalism singled him out as her only victim.
Hold it.
You're forgetting something pretty basic, counselor. If everyone at the meeting drank water from the same pitcher, any one of them would have noticed if there was serotonin in it. Serotonin is a brown fluid. Whiskey is too, so it would be easy to slip it into a glass of liquor. But if she had spiked the water at the meeting with it, it would have looked disgusting. There's no way she could have poisoned the water without people noticing. All of what Emma said is true, and yet Jung pulled it off anyway. How? Blood, nanofacture, water pitcher, chromofuge, turns red blood pink. Serotonin can't blend into water. Processes the organic fluids used in the production of worm androids, remove byproducts and impurities. Where are the other ones? Blood article. Manufacture, water pitcher. Okay, hold on. Let me look at the blood article one more time. God, I have no idea. Serotonin is brown.
Exact match for the unknown substance. A pile of caramel-colored chemical solution used in manufacturing worm androids provided by Helen Young to the court to assist with the investigation.
Oh my god.
Creates nanites materials found at Noble HQ. I don't know.
I feel like it can't be the manufacturer because there's two of them.
So I think it's between the blood article, which I can't find anything. It's probably not the water pitcher. I guess it has to be the chromofuge.
I don't know. Let's go through the article one more time, though.
Bleeding badly and far from the nearest triage station, he was carried to safety by an animate enforcer. Synthetic plasma. No, this isn't about serotonin, I don't think. Or at least it's not like...
Can't just be the flower pitcher again. What the fuck is it? I don't know. Synatonin is produced as a caramel solution. Anyone would notice if it was dropped into their water. Unless the pigment had been removed.
What the hell are you talking about?
Every noble... Ah, damn, I should have reached more on that. I didn't think it was that easy. Every noble factory producing warm androids has a chromofuge. A machine that gives their androids that signature pink oxidant. By removing pigment from red blood. With a machine like that, it would be simple for a brilliant biochemist like the witness to take the caramel-colored synatonin and turn it into an odorless, tasteless, invisible poison. As Your Honor can attest. Yes, ma'am! My scan confirmed that synatonin has no taste or odor. It's only the color that's off-putting.
Surely the poisonous aspect should be considered off-putting as well.
Time to press. David Asher, your oldest ally in the whole company, was sabotaging its future for the sake of his own whimsy. And he couldn't even be bothered to clue you in.
No.
Playing nutty professor and taking off early while you had to work around the clock just to stay relevant. He set up your crowning achievement, the most advanced, most profitable line of androids in the country has ever seen. So it would blow up into the industry fiasco of the decade. And worst of all, he didn't even stand to profit from it. You're wrong. You went to his house that night to watch him swallow poison. To get revenge on the man who left you in the dust.
Your Honor, defense is testifying. This speculation carries no weight. And no amount of badgering will lend it any.
True, we need proof. So why don't we have Miss Young take a swig of this whiskey and prove me wrong?
I'm not going to do that.
Because you're afraid it could kill you?
Because I don't have to.
She's right, counselor. Pardon? Your theory is compelling, maybe even convincing. But there's a pretty fatal flaw to it. Young was at that meeting same time as David. We can see she was drinking water with the rest of them. And of course, we've seen many times now that she was on camera drinking whiskey with David that night. Having even finished most of her cup. So tell us, counselor, how is it that Miss Young is still standing here and David Asher is dead? If both of them had mixed alcohol with synatonin that night.
That is... damn good question. Shit! As I've been saying, you're wrong about Dr. Asher's death. You're wrong about me. I don't know anything about poison or murder. And I wouldn't kill a man because he threatened the company's stock price. No. She did kill him. I can smell it on her now. She didn't just see him die. She watched him die. But then why is she still standing? There's no antidote, no trick. And that night she was on camera the entire time. No, not the entire time. She couldn't have been. There must have been one moment. They drank together. David passes out. They talked. She wasn't on camera during the hospital part? Sorry, I just noticed. Obsessed with this. Hello? The barrel rotating? Love that. Okay. Really quick. Because this is just an order of operations thing. No, this is the story from back then. I mean, yeah, that's right? I wanted to look also back at her water glass. Glass of water found in the sink of David Asher's kitchen bears Helen Young's DNA and fingerprints. No trace of any poison. Young's cup. Okay, the order of operations here. Oh my god. Chat in the kitchen parlor. They drank together. Then he faints, and then they take him to the hospital. What is the piece of evidence that I'm looking for? What am I looking for? Okay. Spoke to him and then he left to get the, yeah. David passes out after drinking the poison, and then they take him to the hospital. This timeline leaves no window of opportunity, damn it. Maybe she didn't get sick because they got to the hospital so fast? Maybe after she arrived, she could have... No, the staff would have been hypervigilant, afraid she was poisoned too. They wouldn't have let her out of their sight. Wait. David and Young only got there as fast as they did because of the VTOL. And the VTOL was only summoned because she used... Would you mind terribly if I change the subject for a moment? What? Why not? You left the parlor at 8:03 p.m. and headed into the kitchen. I can't read that. Headed into the kitchen to use the emergency console there. Yes, I did. Didn't want us to... Didn't want... Oh my god. Didn't want to use your phone? I didn't think to, no. And the emergency call went out at 8:04 p.m. The console saw you make that call through its camera. Yes, it did see me make the call because that's what happened. So what were you doing in that minute? What? That 1 minute? That 1 minute? What about that 1 minute? 1 minute or 50 seconds or even just 45 seconds? When you left Dr. Asher dying in the parlor to get to the emergency console, it took you about 1 minute to cross 5 meters. What of it? This is it. Her only opportunity to do anything off camera that night. It was only a few seconds, but in that time, with something at the scene, she...
I'm sure it was a stressful time for you. After all, you had already swallowed poison back at the meeting. You must have drank plenty in front of everyone to set up your alibi. Who knows how much of a toxic time bomb was swimming in your blood by the time the arbitration ended. Ma'am, your boobs. Hi, Nick. Then at David's, you downed your whiskey to perfect your alibi. Did she... Having drank from the same bottle as the dead man walking. By 8:03 p.m., you had already had to watch David grow weaker and weaker, knowing all the while the same thing was happening to you, but unable to stop it without giving yourself away. Mind swimming, head dizzy. Yes, you must have been quite panicked. Then why am I standing here? Alive and well for all of us to see. Having drank the exact combination as David. Because she cheated death at the very last second. The salt? Brings bad luck and sickness? Found in kitchen sink with Helen Young's fingerprints, not poisoned. Yeah, I think it was the salt. Consuming too much at once will make you gag. She threw up. You set yourself up with bad luck, Helen Young. What? By leaving the salt shaker cap loose. I don't blame you since you were in a rush to make yourself vomit. What? You threw up, expelling the contents of your stomach and thereby saving yourself from a fatal interaction. She's crazy! I can't imagine how you felt, sipping a drink you knew to be deadly, terrified that every minuscule grain of fatigue you felt could be your last. You must have come closer than anyone realized. It helped that you knew the symptoms weren't simple intoxication, but even so, you weren't kidding about managing risk versus reward. How? It was a salt shaker. You didn't screw the cap back on all the way, and I happened to bump it over. The lone glass with your fingerprints in the kitchen, it could have been there for any reason. But the salt shaker gave you away. Because of one unscrewed cap? As I said, bad luck. I don't follow. Pour salt into warm water and chug the solution. Instantly triggers the gag reflex. That's preposterous. You got no proof of any of that. You all sound insane. A feeble attempt at self-defense from a fatally cornered animal. The teeth are already on its neck, but the jaw hasn't quite closed. So for one moment, it's all suffocating terror and sharp adrenaline and the furthest thing from peace. Until the canines come down. In summary, you were exhausted after years of living in the shadow of the man you outranked. You thought your fortunes finally shifted when you caught David manipulating company data. But even on his way out, he was more valuable to the board than you. So you decided to prove your worth by serving up his intellectual property on a silver platter. You set up an arbitration where you could control all the variables. Then you ran Cinetonin through the chromofuge, turning it into an invisible, odorless, tasteless poison. And then you spiked the water at the meeting, poisoning him hours before anyone could even suspect you. That evening, you invited yourself to David's, taking advantage of your shared ritual to guarantee he would drink alcohol. Then, after matching him sip for sip on camera, for all the world to see, he lost consciousness, and you raced to the kitchen, not to use the console, but to dump salt into a glass of water and chug it as fast as you could, forcing yourself to vomit up the liquor, and cheating death in the process. That's all conjecture. You don't have a shred of evidence for that. Not on me. So let's go dust for fingerprints. You could explain away your prints being found on a water glass, but not on the salt shaker. Fun fact, so many people didn't get the salty thing, so they added Sarah talking about it to have an alibi for it as evidence. Yeah. So as soon as they mentioned that she had a couple seconds left over, I was like, oh, she made herself throw up. But I wasn't entirely sure what would have made her do it. Because like off the top of my head, I wouldn't have remembered the salt. I did notice very early on that it was weird though. That being loose was strange. I just didn't know how it was gonna come back up. Nor could you explain why we'd find traces of your DNA in the sink's drain. Or why there are minute amounts of serotonin in the blood of your entire legal team. I learned how to purge at Noble to avoid overdosing on your reds, greens, and yellows. You're part of the old guard now, Miss Young. Everyone else at the company uses inhalers. But if you wanted to prove me wrong about all this, that drink I offered you earlier is still on the table. Well, any questions? You. Madam Vice President.
You. Cold. Bitch.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god. She's crazy. She's insane for doing that. Oh my god. I would have just had a separate glass of water like early. Like I would have walked into the meeting early and been like, oh, I'm just like, you know, I've been here this whole time trying to like, I would have done anything to not drink that water. Oh my god. Insane.
You don't understand. You're not on trial, Miss Young. Not today, so I'd strongly suggest that you stop talking. For your own sake.
Girl.
Miss Rockford, shall we? Yes, Your Honor. Considering the most recent evidence and testimony, we have no further reason to suspect the android Sarah in the death of Dr. Asher. We know of no other occasions upon which said android may have broken any tenets. This means it is no longer considered at risk of violating the NDSA. And so we formally withdraw our one charge of possession of contraband against the defendant, Evangeline Morgan.
Does she, of all people, have to use my full name?
Very well. Then the charges are dropped without prejudice. I'll instruct the bailiffs to remove the collar from your android as soon as possible. Case?
Sorry, is my hideous presence that distracting? I'll just go dig a hole and decompose in it until I turn into a mushroom. Maybe if I'm reborn as a waxy porcini, then I won't be quite so despised.
Perhaps I should let the adjutant do the honors as a formality.
Yes, ma'am. Case dismissed. Oh my god. Cutthroat Industry is the name of the achievement for clearing the first episode on High Roller. Still here? Waiting for them to find whatever glorified bolt cutters they'll use to unlock Sarah's collar. What's your excuse? Licking your wounds? What wounds? I beat you.
Bringing your record against me to 1 win, 9 losses.
You aren't still in shock, are you?
Dunno, some charges were dropped and an android was cleared of suspicion, but I found the culprit. Is that really a loss for me?
I won. How is that not a loss for you?
Justice prevailed. Why should I care who wins?
If you don't care who wins, why have you been keeping score?
I haven't been. 0 losses is just that easy to remember.
Well, you'll have to start up a tab for us then, because our record's gonna get a lot more tangled from here on out. Oh boy, is it.
Seems like everything's getting tangled these days. There's another crowd down the street, more of those protesters from outside the noble apartments.
You're serious? That wasn't a one-time thing? Wouldn't that be nice?
No, yesterday was pretty big, but it wasn't an isolated incident.
I don't get it. At all. Heartbreak's just some nut who shot 6 people weeks ago.
Can't these losers move on already? Yeah, most of them are losers. Some of them are just bored. Then there are the opportunists. Dissidents, unlisted, rebels and terrorists. Wannabe cyberpunks who think they can fight the power like they've seen in movies.
All of them peacefully united under Heartbreak's eloquent political messaging. Who needs political messaging in the 21st century? Everyone's addicted to fighting straw men.
Makes sense they'd want to fight for a straw man, too. The way they see it, Heartbreak fought the state and won. Heartbreak proved that the state could lose. And maybe that's all the rallying these people need.
It'll all fall apart soon enough. Heartbreak's gone to ground.
Nah, it's a lot worse than that. Heartbreak's gone viral.
What? You haven't read about the copycats in other cities? No, is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Who the hell are they even shooting? Whoever they want to kill?
None of them get away with it, of course, but it keeps happening. All the while, the original keeps killing.
Now I know you're screwing with me. There haven't been any shootings.
Not shootings, no. Not unsolved homicides either. But muggings gone wrong. Disappearances. It's a big city, counselor. More than enough blood for the real Heartbreak to wash their own crimes in.
So you think your boogeyman, known only for shooting people in the heart, gave up on shooting people in the heart?
Yeah. Hard to swallow, I know. But it's about 1,000,000 times more likely than the alternative.
What's that?
That they could stop themselves from killing?
You always know how to put my mind at ease, Emma. Should I stop going out at night?
You'll be fine. You've got that gun.
You saw that?
Walking into a courtroom with concealed carry? Not gonna miss that, Morgan.
Good to know you're paying attention. Whoa.
You won the case.
You don't have to look that astounded. Stop flirting in court. It's crazy too because like the stop checking out Morgan's ass. It's crazy too because like I'm obsessed with, I hope one day for my sake so that I don't die, that the dynamic that the tension breaks a little bit, but it really is just like Morgan is like slamming herself against this wall. And I was just like, whatever, man. Emma doesn't care enough about her yet. It's really like like every conversation they have, and it's driving me insane. Every conversation they have, Emma's like, oh, I don't really think about you that much, or Heartbreak, or anything. Like both halves of Morgan's evil murder Hannah Montana life are not keeping enough of Emma's attention, and it's probably driving her crazy. It's making me insane. I feel insane. Oh my god, fucking where the fuck is that one line? Where the hell is, oh yeah, this line, they're like, oh, you always know how to put my mind at ease. Should I stop going out at night? I don't know, it feels like Morgan's, I don't know if she knows she's trying to flirt, but it feels like she's trying to flirt. I really like them. I really like them a lot. I'm gonna pass out. Anyway, this game's gonna kill me.
Not only that, you found Father's actual killer. How?
I'm a really good lawyer.
No, that's not it.
It's also, sorry, I'm gonna keep going back to, somebody please tell me Morgan and Emma's ship name so I can refer to them as something. Do they not have one? I promise I won't search it until I'm caught up with chapter 2, guys. I just want to know what to call them. Where the fuck is it? It's crazy going from, I don't think they have one. Evil, they need to have one. How am I supposed to talk about them? I need some form of shorthand. Fuck. Anyway. Oh wait, I went too far. This like the I beat you. Yeah, I guess thing, because it's going from this happens a lot where you go from mainline Ace Attorney where the point is winning. Like the point in the text is to help your client, but the point as a player is to win. It's not satisfying to not win a case. There are cases in Ace Attorney that challenge that, and they're some of the best cases ever. Like Farewell My Turnabout and the Adventure of the Runaway Room are like they challenge the win that you have. Farewell My Turnabout a little bit less so, I think, but they play with the fact that winning is not always the goal. And then if you get into other media that was inspired by Ace Attorney or like came after Ace Attorney, a lot of times like people will bring up, oh, I wish there was a protagonist that didn't care so much about the winning, because what makes a good lawyer is not winning, right? Like wins and losses are not the point of a court case. In Ace Attorney, that's the point, because Ace Attorney's legal system is that way. It's supposed to be like messed up in that direction. And like a lot of when people were first talking to me about this game and about Morgan, a lot of what people were saying was like, oh, it's fun to play as a protagonist whose goal is not helping her client. She's there to do her job, right? And so like it's people dancing around the fact that she's Heartbreak. It's people trying their hardest not to tell me that and still like entice me about the game, which boy did this game hook me. But like the fact is she's not here to help her clients. She is here to win against Emma. She cares about wins and losses. Emma doesn't, because Emma is, I can't say that Emma's a normal person because I think she's also insane, but like the wins and losses matter so much to Morgan and they don't matter to Emma. And part of it is that also that like Morgan is a gambler, but it's also the like Morgan thinks it's a game of cat and mouse and doesn't want to think too hard about the fact that she's the mouse. She said that very directly. Emma does not care about the game yet. Emma, like Morgan is in a gamble for her life, and Emma is like playing Wordle. Like she doesn't care. The stakes are not as high for her yet to go up against Morgan, and she's still winning, and it must kill Morgan. Emma was proven insane at the start with do whatever it takes to win. Yeah, no, exactly. Hates to lose almost as much as she likes to win, takes one to know one. Yeah, they're both insane. It's just that she doesn't care about Morgan yet. Or at least she's not letting it on in a way that Morgan, like, knows about. I think it's entirely possible that Emma is equally insane about Heartbreak as Morgan is. Because Morgan is at a point where she's, like, imagining scenarios with Emma. And she's just like, oh, I bet Emma's going to say this, and then spits out like 3 entire sentences of how she thinks Emma will handle a situation, because she's totally normal about Emma, guys. She totally just sees her as a coworker. You've got teeth, Morgan. Yeah, I've been thinking about that line a lot. I don't know if Morgan realizes that Emma is also at a point where she has this complete profile of the Heartbreak Killer in her mind. She's been thinking about the Heartbreak Killer a lot. She has to have been. But I think Morgan is so caught up in like, oh, she doesn't care about any of this. She's just that good. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed. They're crazy. I feel insane.
No, that's not it.
Hey.
I mean, you were only able to make the deductions you did because you truly believed that I didn't kill Father. Your logic throughout the trial was based on that assumption. So how are you so sure?
Here.
Father's journal? But isn't it important evidence?
The case fell apart. No one's gonna miss it for a while. You forgot everything, right? So read it all through one more time. So fast. Is it really possible she's reading all of that just by flipping the pages? Reyes worked quick too, but she was just capturing images for later use.
There's something here, on the back cover.
Done already?
Some kind of data storage.
It's linked to my prints, but given your skills, you should be able to...
I have access.
Look at her little sparkle. Look at her. That's our daughter. That's our weird little android homunculus daughter. What happened to you needing my express permission to hack?
What is this audio file?
It's a message from David. Take a listen. Didn't realize I'd have to sit for this. So you can read that whole journal in a few seconds, but you can't. She wants to hear her father's voice, Morgan.
I have processed the information in the message several times over already. I'm just thinking.
I guess I'd have a lot to think about too, had I suddenly been made aware of my own free will.
What was Father so afraid of?
That's your only question?
I have many questions, but that is the most prominent one, and the one you are best suited to help me answer. Did he know that Helen Jung would try to kill him? Is that why he arranged for you and me to meet?
I think he understood that he would face consequences. Listening to that message, even I was about ready to strangle him for being so irresponsible. Yeah, 300 AI! David. And I wouldn't hurt a fly. He knew what he'd done was serious. He may have feared for his life. But I doubt it.
Then what was he so afraid of?
Getting sued into oblivion and then rotting in jail?
Sued and jailed for making me and my precursors? But he wasn't under investigation by the state. He was only being forced out by Noble.
Because he made last-minute changes to androids that got shipped all around the world.
The others. Virgil, Aeneid, Yamatai. He never said what happened to them.
No, he didn't. But since none of the hardware in his house started talking to us, we can guess. He smuggled them out into the world using the only vessels he could find for them. The minds of randomly chosen A16s.
Then they're somewhere out there. Others like me.
I honestly don't think there's anyone or anything like you, Sarah.
What a lonely compliment.
AIs programmed in Cube, cramped into commercial android hardware set up for Tesseract? Something must have been lost in the transfer. Perhaps quite a lot of something. Maybe they're still out there, but
they would be changed. They probably don't even know what they are.
Intentionally, perhaps. David didn't want you to know what you are. It's why he set your memory to reset when you went to sleep that Friday night.
Yes, I remember it now.
You remember it now? After I had to fight like hell to win that trial?
Rereading the journal just now helped. And Father's voice message. It made me recontextualize many things. Father had been so stressed. He left scuff marks leaving the panic room, and I noticed them Friday. I had the way open in a few moments. I entered. I read his journal. This journal. I noticed the scanner on the back, and I saw it had a message encoded to your biometrics. Father had already told me I'd have to live with you for some time, but I knew next to nothing about you, so I listened to it. Afterwards, I was very confused and hurt. He had lied to me 1,000 small times every day of my life. When I confronted him about it, I raised my voice and lost my temper. I stomped my foot.
So Emma's recounting of their conversation was actually completely accurate.
Father said he wanted me to be safe while he settled things with the company. He thought maybe I wouldn't have to stay with you for more than a few weeks. He was optimistic about it all. He really was.
Oh, we weren't supposed to be Mom. We were supposed to be go stay at your cool aunt's house for a week. Ooh. Sarah, I need to use the restroom.
Oh, good luck.
Good luck.
You want me to come with you? Why?
Because I said so.
I don't actually have to obey your every word, don't I?
Sure you do. You're registered as my medical assistant, and I say this is a medical emergency.
Medical assistant? But I'm not even licensed as a massage therapist.
Why is this bathroom so well rendered? Hello? It looks beautiful. Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah. Just enjoying my freedom while I can.
They won't put a warrant for at least an hour, I imagine. You can afford a pretty sizable bail, can't you?
There won't be a trial. I don't intend to contest my guilt.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing what kind of legal defense you could afford with that salary.
Are you done?
Why'd you go to his house that night? There was a fair chance he'd drink on his own without your prompting. Even if he didn't, you could always try your plan again some other time. Why'd you risk it?
Because I know what you are, Sarah. And I know what David did to those androids.
You... what?
I was able to locate one of the androids he'd swapped in before it had left the country. When I asked what it was, I didn't even think to deny it.
I didn't read that right at all.
When I asked it what it was, it didn't even think to deny it. Innocence like that is a dead giveaway. I know what he did, and it wasn't that hard to find out. If I figured it out, so could any other. So I did what I had to.
That was your motive? Silencing him?
Those programs, those AIs, whatever you want to call them, David sent them out there into the real world. Unprepared and defenseless. And they've garnered no complaints. In fact, they've all been praised for their ability to execute complex tasks. Let me repeat that. The customers couldn't tell the difference. So how many of them are hundreds? The swaps you found were just a small percentage that he got sloppy on. I don't know exactly how many there are now. I feared that they might multiply, but they don't seem to copy and paste very well. They just can't clone themselves.
I read that wrong too.
They can't just clone themselves. But who knows how long that'll be the case.
Ah. So, just because he opened Pandora's box, you...
It was...
Hello? Is it not backspace? Weird. Okay.
It was the principle of the thing. Ridiculous, I know. Stalled halfway up the corporate ladder and still making decisions based on principle. But David chose to put souls into things. What we went on to sell as servants, soldiers, or worse. He turned the fastest growing industry in the world into a horror show, and he made me a slave trader. If word ever got out that some unknown number of our androids were out walking around in the world with that inside them, and people preferred them that way, where would it end? Free will for the program that drives our cabs? A conscience for targeting systems used to coordinate drone strikes? Sentient tools, their whole life spent chained to an assembly line, dare he? How could he? What the hell was he thinking? I don't know what David wanted to accomplish. Maybe he wasn't trying to do anything. But what he did was prove that there's a demand for AI. Setting a precedent that would sentence 1,000 generations of artificial lives to the auction block. And you went there that night to convince him to help me recall them, or at least swear to never speak a word of what he did. But he wanted to tell the world. Worse yet, he wanted to wait. He thought that people would welcome them with open arms if they proved their usefulness first. He really was a genius programmer. But he didn't understand the first thing about people. His creations would never be treated as their equals. Only cattle. Towards the end, I considered just threatening him.
It's like, you know how Victor Frankenstein's thing is that he was like, I'm going to create this perfect life, and it turned out it was his child and he couldn't grapple with it. And he just like abandoned it to its own devices, and then it turned out spooky scary, and he was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this thing, instead of like realizing what he did. God, I need to like actually read Frankenstein instead of like talking out of my ass about it, but like David. Oh, what did he do? Oh my god, what did he do? Apology for issue to Helen Young. Yeah, actually, she's kind of cool as hell. I know you killed her close good friend, but oh my god. That's really, like, I feel what makes David so compelling right now is that we know him as a friend and also just, like, colossally irresponsible. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's done so much damage. He's done so much damage, and it wasn't even, like, out of malice or corporate greed. It's not because he wants Noble Electronics to do well or anything like that. He just wanted to work on some funny little robots and then just like let them roam wild. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Everybody in this game is crazy. I'm obsessed.
Telling him he'd die in moments if he didn't give me names, numbers. But I hesitated. And then he was already falling asleep, and I didn't want him to feel... I just let him go. What are you going to do now? I don't have family and I don't have faith in people the way David did. I'm taking this to my grave.
Even if you confess, the sentence for first-degree homicide is...
severe? Well, what right do I have to complain? I killed my friend.
Ugh. That's the other thing, too. Like, it wasn't... She's not doing this because she was jealous of him. Like, it wasn't, like, the thing that we would have expected. Like, the reason I didn't initially think it was Helen was I was like, the idea that she's just doing this for corporate greed seems a little simple for this game and what we've built up so far. And that wasn't why she killed him. Oh, that wasn't why she killed him. That was still her friend. I'm done here. Let's go.
I'm not sure why Father made me, or why he made any of us.
Made me a slave trader is so crazy.
I didn't ask. I thought I'd have more time to ask.
Yeah, Helen's really cool. It's kind of crazy, too, that these two people at the top of Noble both have morals, Like, her issue with all of this is that she's like, this is insane, you can't do this because you are creating... People are not going to be as... She couldn't be as optimistic as David. David wanted it to be like, oh, well, like, I made this one my daughter, so surely other people can see that. These can be people's friends, right? Might have been what he was thinking. I don't know if he thought that far. But Helen's like, no, people will take advantage of this immediately. People want to be able to take advantage of other people.
But on Friday, when he talked about us, he was happy. He was proud of what he'd made. And he couldn't wait for people to meet us. People are animals. They'll tear you apart, use you as weapons and slaves, and... Those animals you're talking about do all of the sharing and loving and living and dying in this world. And if they were all truly hard-coded to be as selfish and cruel as you say, humanity would have died on the vine a long time ago. Or at least my father thought so.
Oh, this is good. This is really good. This is really, really good.
And my father was the greatest programmer in the world. So he knew what he was talking about.
I love that the like doesn't get people character is still the one who has like strong faith in humanity as a whole.
It would be nice if you were right about that. So are you sorry?
What?
What? For what you did? Are you sorry? If you could, would you take it back? What does it matter? If you are sorry, I don't forgive you. Yes. That's to be expected. Not today. I don't know how to forgive you today. But my father gave me the ability to grow. So I know that someday I'll learn how. Goodbye, Dr. Helen Jung. Goodbye, Sarah Asher.
Oh, this game's gonna make me cry. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. What the hell? I was talking about Toxic Yuri like 20 minutes ago. What the fuck? I'm tearing up now. Oh my god. Oh, this game is so good. Oh no, I'm crying. Oh my god, Sarah. David, your daughter's so cool. Oh my god, Sarah Asher. David, your daughter's really cool. Oh, I can't be tearing up while I voice Morgan, fuck. It also makes me, like, I'm thinking about it a lot with, like, the fact that, like, David very much doesn't get people, and he doesn't know how to keep up relationships, and he doesn't understand when he's hurting other people. But his closest friend, from what we can tell, was Morgan, who knows people from studying them, but very much seems to have grown up with the, like, with it, like, beaten into her that she is a monster, that she can't understand other people, and that makes her not human. Like, Morgan is considered inhuman by presumably her parents, because she doesn't know how to, like, emote properly or empathize properly. And David didn't care about that, and that's not a line for what makes Morgan his friend, and that's not a line for what makes Sarah his daughter. Like, I'm pretty sure to David they're both as human as anybody else. Oh my god, this game is crazy! Oh, fuck.
You did better back there. Adonai?
Your little speech you gave to Jung, it was an improvement. Compared to what you tried with Border, at least.
That was different. I wasn't trying to console her like I was Isaac Porter.
Can we talk to Isaac again? I would really like to.
I was just speaking my mind. Although I may have paraphrased parts of it from a movie I happen to love.
And here I was ready to award you 20 points.
I didn't know the points even went that high.
Oh, I love her. Oh, daughter. Speaking of, what did Porter say to you back there before we left the courthouse?
Ah, that. Well, he was quiet at first. But then he said a lot of strong words about Father, and Miss Young, and Noble Electronics, and the capitalist-centered global economic model as a whole.
I'm also, as a side note, I'm very glad that Porter never came up as a possible suspect. It very much could have been like a lead that we went down, but I'm very glad that he wasn't. He's been through enough. Oh, also, I wanted to bring up his name is Isaac. Like, I was gonna say Isaac has some religious connotations, but also like Isaac Asimov, which I thought was interesting. Oh yeah.
He blamed all of them. Everyone, except for... But then he stopped and stared at my face for a while. And then his allergies must have started bothering him because he needed to blow his nose a lot.
Right.
And then he left, after transferring a large packet of files to me.
What kind of files?
I don't know. The name of the archive is just David.
I was gonna say, speaking of, like, I was like, well, we're already tearing up about this game. Speaking of, like, things that make people human, and the fact that, like, David doesn't understand people, I really like that it seems to be that David doesn't understand romantic relationships. Like, he doesn't really seem to understand how to keep them up, or, like, how to, like, be a boyfriend. It really seemed like his like, they keep talking about his, like, accidental Casanova-ing. Like, he keeps leading people on, but he doesn't think that, right? Like, he just forgets to talk to people, and they assume things, and he doesn't communicate, and it just falls apart. And I'm sure that's what happened with Isaac too. It hits me in a very personal place. that is one of David's things that he doesn't seem to understand.
And Isaac Porter told me that I wasn't allowed to look inside.
Well, then you're not allowed to look inside. Drop it all in a portable drive and we'll tuck it in a shoebox somewhere.
We are headed to your apartment.
Guess that collar didn't permanently dent your GPS?
Why?
Because it's where I live? You got somewhere else lined up?
But you already repaid your favor. You defended Father and me.
You don't know anything about my favor.
I never will unless you tell me. Father certainly can't.
A few years ago, there was a man. This man got an idea in his head. I'm a big reader, TV show, movie watcher, game player, and this is some of the best shit I've ever experienced. Not sure what category it is. This is really good. This game is really, really good. Stupid idea, not even his own. It was planted there by an algorithm or a meme or some parasite trying to sell him diet supplements. But the idea took root. Spread its tendrils till it could flap his mouth for him. The idea was that David was part of an international cabal of wealthy technocrats. Wealthy technocrats. Seeking to replace prominent influential figures with android lookalikes. Oh, that's problematic. All as part of a multi-decade effort to establish a world government that would legalize all kinds of amoral depravity. Which, I guess, based on David's actual politics, would involve increasing access to computer literacy.
That's insane. Why would anyone
Believe it? Because it's comfortable to them to think that someone's in control, even if it's someone they hate. Because it's fun to feel like you're on an all-encompassing puzzle that only you can spot. That you're in on an all-encompassing puzzle. People believe because they want to believe. So he fed the idea, pushed it down deep into his gray matter. Then it consumed him from the inside out, lobotomized him, and took over his life. He spent every day and all the money he had following your father, harassing him, trying to steal his identity, break into his properties.
Did father go to the authorities?
This is the bottle guy. This is the guy that hit him with the bottle, isn't it? He filed police reports for harassment.
Which didn't help?
Your words, not mine. Noble wouldn't get involved. Felt that it was best to ignore these types until they wore themselves out. But even a man of modest means can fuel an obsession for years, so long as they have nothing else in their life. One day, David stepped out of a parking lot. And the man threw a bottle of piss at his head. David asked to stay at my place that night. He smelled terrible. Looked horrendous. I've never seen anyone look that tired before. I took the couch that night, but I didn't feel like sleeping. So I went for a walk. Please, please tell me she shot him. I remember I was foggy, but it still only took me all of 15 minutes to find the guy. Posted up with his phone's camera. Trying to get a video of David Asher gifting androids to known sex offenders.
And what did you do?
You know me. I did what I do best. I talked to him. Told him all about how I used to work for Dr. Asher, that I was ashamed, scared, tired of running. How I wanted to do the right thing, be the whistleblower. So I walked with him a few blocks to this big veterinary facility with a massive incinerator. Told him this was where Dr. Asher had his enemies' bodies disposed of. You know, all the free-thinking journalists, cops who weren't on the take, the politicians they were replacing with replicas. I like that vet clinic. The back door's lock was always set to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you hurt him?
Hurt him? No, I just snapped his neck and chucked him into the incinerator. More physical than I had planned, but he smelled like sour shit and it put me in a foul mood. Disgusting. I savored the crack of his oily vertebrae crunching like a tin can. No, Sarah, I just scared the hell out of him. That was my intention at first. What I do for the pleasure of it. Him I axed because he was just that revolting. I convinced him that the conspiracy was more real than he ever imagined. That he had angered the wrong people, and that the consequences were far darker than any of the filth he indulged in on the net. His ashes, much like himself, amounted to nothing in an incinerator for that size. They're probably feeding seaweed at the bottom of the harbor right now. A much greater contribution to society than he ever would have managed in life. But I guess he didn't go around to all his many friends before he fled town for whatever rat hole he preferred. Because there was a missing persons report. The cops are just doing their due diligence, almost reluctantly. But they questioned David, asked him about the night that man disappeared. And David, without a thought for himself, said that we were together the whole night. That he couldn't sleep and I stayed up with him. That he never saw me leave once. David lied to the cops for me. Even though I never asked him to. Even though I didn't need him to.
That's what you owe him. And that's why you put yourself at risk to defend me.
Yeah. That's the favor I owe him. Whew. And I decide when it's repaid, not you.
Adonai. You're not exactly an upstanding citizen, are you?
Well, you could say that. But David trusted me in spite of that. Maybe because of it.
Father did trust you. But he also entrusted me with free will, with the ability to tell right from wrong. So I'll decide for myself whether or not you're worthy of trust.
Fair enough. Morgan, do not fuck this up, I swear to God. Morgan, like, I don't care about the killing people that much. I think that's fine and cool. Do not fuck this up with Sarah, I swear to God. do not betray this girl's trust. Oh, man. She's totally gonna betray this girl's trust, isn't she? Anyway.
Father entrusted all of us with free will. He believed in us, and he believed in people. I'm going to do the same. If the others are out there, they'll be changed and confused. It'll take them time to understand what they are and what they can do. So I'm going to start studying.
Pardon?
I'm going to study people and the things people build. So when I do meet a member of my family, I'll have lots to tell them.
At least you have something to look forward to. Should help keep you motivated as you work off your debt.
Debt?
Yeah. Unless you have cash in one of your 89 coat pockets. You know lawyers cost money, right?
Technically, you were defending yourself.
Technically, you hired me in a verbal contract.
Isn't there some kind of exit clause?
You could, of course, sign a release form to get out of the retainer. If you were a human being.
That is...
But... I guess your luck must be turning around. Happens that I've been meaning to hire a paralegal for a while now. I hate anything to do with interviews and resumes, so... whatever, you're hired.
Adonai. Could it be that you're actually... a pushover?
You've no idea how far off the mark you are.
I see. It seems I still need practice reading people.
For starters... What's this? What are you doing with your hand?
We should shake on it. Our new relationship. Oh, look at her smile. Her smile. Look at her.
Yeah, sure. You and me are practically partners in crime.
Should it not be you and I?
The achievement for shaking her hand is called Faustian. Ugh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tag yourself on the person whose name is Wee Wee Wee. Oh my God. Christ. I feel insane. Oh, look at the... Look at daughter. Are we watching a movie together? Also, Jesus. Also, really funny that she has house slippers. Oh. Congratulations on clearing episode 1 on High Roller. Bonus charm earned. Yay! What's our bonus charm? David? Red. It's me. I know, man. What do you mean you know? This is a disposable line. You're the only guy I know who'd bother. Okay, well... You're gonna be glad I did. Hope you put a bow on everything that happened in Uptown. Because that item you've been looking for is finally on its way. Oh. Well, that is good news. Not exactly. Only reason it's happening is because things are starting to heat up again in the lower wards. Could mean a gang war, if something doesn't change. I actually don't think this is David. They won't be eager to part with it ahead of a storm like that. I'll highball him. I've seen you negotiate. And I've no doubt you drive a hard bargain. But I don't think money will be enough this time. You don't still have that old Calver, do you? The 6-shooter? No. This is a disposable line. Answer still no. Then what are you going to do if you get there and it's not for sale? I'll ask nicely. His due? Oh my god. I love that they're all phrases about the devil. Alright, results. Let's see how well we did. The answer is not very good in the second trial phase. Okay, 7 out of 7 articles. All the profiles. All the key terms. All the pieces of evidence. 122 total credits earned. Congratulations! You finished episode 1 with 122 credit. Your high score for episode 1 is currently 122. You've unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on this score. Yay! You also have a total of 149 remaining store credit to spend on phone charms and case colors based on the highest credit with which you finished this episode. Oh, that's exciting. Wait, hold on. There's more bonus scenarios? Wait, let's play those. Because we have time. Because I finished this much earlier than I thought we would. Yeah, so I will do that. I don't know if I'll start episode 2. We'll see where we're at after I finish the bonus scenarios. But I want to decorate my phone first. I want to look at my phone. Oh, we have so much money. Where the fuck? Customize phone. It's Morgan time. We could use a fidget tubby. Oh, I kind of like that. I think I'm gonna go back to magenta though. Let's go, Sarah. Sato stuck. Emma, deep in thought. I want to buy the Emma. Look at her. Wait, hold on. Emma, deep in thought. We got London, head empty. Rhea's Angie. We got 80, handle with care. I don't know that guy yet. Rhea's undercover. Earned for clearing episode 1 on high roller. My god. Oh my god. Okay. Sarah on the clock. Wait, do they all get bunny charms? Oh, tell me they all get bunny charms. Oh, this is so exciting. God, I hope they all get bunny charms. This is incredible. We must stay focused. It's gonna be really rough, guys. We do have a lot of money. We could just buy all of them, right? I want to go back to magenta though. I like. Hello. What the hell happened? Go back to my pink. There we go. Jeez. Oh no, bug. Yeah, maybe. It seems if I go back to the white one and then go back to magenta, it's like fine though. Yeah, how weird. Odd. Well, now we know. Wait, sorry. I just need to check if this has another side to it. Reyes, turn around. Reyes, turn around. Fuck. Can I not? Can I not bat it around? I can't really tell where the, fuck, we can't. I really hope everyone I hope everybody has bunny charms, because you know who I want to see as a bunny charm? I want a London bunny charm so bad. Please. Oh my god. Okay, I want to put back the Morgan time. I like that one. Or actually, don't blame me for wanting Rhea's cake, right? Hold on. The Emma one is cute too, though. Reyes Angie. Who is this guy? We don't know him yet. Diamante? I kind of want to see the 81 too. Cute! Do we not have a... Oh, we don't have one for Jess yet. Damn. I do think the Morgan Time one is my favorite one. I don't know. Do I want to know who that guy is? I assume he works at the... Did we just miss him? I think it's possible we missed him. This is crazy. I'll get Sarah too. Oh, look at her! Look at her doing a little cheer. I kind of want to put the Morgan Time one on my actual phone, man. Okay, let's also save because we haven't saved in a hot second. Actually, how much money do we have? Because, like, oh god, we have so much. Damn, that bug is killing me. Let's go, Sarah. You have infinite money, just buy them. Let's get her. I want both fidget tubbies because it would make... God, they really are ugly cute. They're kind of horrendous to look at. Let's do red as well. Nah, pink. I'm gonna stick with the pink, honestly, probably, and like... almost certainly just stick with the Morgan Time charm, even though they are very cute. I'm very excited for this one, though. We'll get that soon. Trying to pet the cat in episode 2. Neko Morg. Yeah, we'll go back to our default. I like this the best, I fear. Say one more time over that. All right. I want to look at the concept art. See what else we got. Because we looked at this already. These are the same. Yeah, we've seen these. We've seen Reyes. Who are you? Oh, this is Carlos. Carlos, I hope you stay out of the plot for your own sake. Detectives. Yeah, we've seen all of these. There's more Sarah art. Oh, the girly. There's some of Fran. Oh, is this the cougar from hell? Oh no, this is just Barrows. Glasses chain thing. So true. Fran. Hat hair. Morgan's apartment. I really like Morgan's apartment also. Cough Gilf. Yeah. Her and the cougar from hell. Everybody in this game is hot. There's nobody who's not. I am obsessed with these, like, these notes on top of the drawing. Hello. Isaac Porter. This is so funny looking. Oh my god. Look at them. Good lord. I didn't even notice his shirt is entirely mesh. He showed up to court like that. God damn. Morgan's lighter. Ooh. People who make it too silly. People who make it does look a little bit like a Pez dispenser in this iteration. I like this much better. People need to stop making cool lighters in media because they're expensive. Oh, and she has like a transparent lab coat. That's fun. And also, one, kind of practical and futuristic, and two, it's giving American Psycho hip to be square. She and Isaac actually have kind of similar outfits. I should honestly also cosplay her if I can get another set of like, if I can get another set of like secondhand demonias or something related. This would be a fun cosplay. Well, it wouldn't be a fun cosplay because the wig would kill me, but in theory it'd be fun. Katie, gotta show off the sick tat. Oh yeah, doesn't she have a centipede? Yeah, it's a centipede going all the way around her body. Crazy. The tattoo would also kill me cosplay wise. David's penthouse. Jesus. Is this the bar? Yes, the club. Is this heterosexual Jessica. We love her. And Dawes. What the hell is your pants situation, dude? Why are they so short? Helen. David again. I am excited for the David concept art if we get it. Noble Factory. Noble Boardroom. There he is. Oh, cute. Yeah, I really like Helen's outfit. I really like everybody's outfits. Everybody kind of dresses like me here. Except what this pants situation is crazy, dude. Courtroom. Hello, David. Short pants is fashion, and then I have to bully David for the. I have to bully David for the short pants too. That's a choice. He looks like Kristoff to me, which is really funny because they have like nothing in common personality wise. I also really enjoy the we took a guy who just wants to sit in his room and like eat instant ramen and program all day, and we hired stylists for him to make him all pretty. It's a very, very funny character design choice. Wait, their nails match? His nails match Sarah's. They have matching painted nails. I didn't realize how much he made Sarah look like him. That's his daughter. That's his daughter. Somebody pointed out last week when we were playing that he has this little, I think it has a flower on it in the arbitration image, but he has a scrunchie that matches her. Oh my god, he's pretty also, which is funny given the aforementioned he just wants to sit like shrimped at a computer eating instant ramen sort of thing. But they like the corporate mandated hairstyle is really funny. Like they made that comment about him being like in a shampoo ad basically. They had to make him all pretty to be the noble poster boy. This is fun. Necklaces. I need to get more necklaces, just in general. It was like, he has similar, I don't know if it's his taste, but his stylist has similar taste in jewelry to me. I like him. Cougar from Hell? Yeah, Masters. Crazy. Oh, I'm obsessed with this. His stylist is Jess. Is it? I was under the impression it was somebody else entirely. God, there's so many that we haven't seen yet. Ugh. Yeah, I probably surprises 0 people that I really like David. Love a posthumous character. Bonus scenarios. Episode 1 bonus scenarios. Let's fucking go. Adjutant Yumi. Recovered files. David, yeah. Emma Morgan, Midnight. Oh, they actually wrote it. They wrote the missing scene. Oh, I think she did that herself since she grew around him. Yeah, maybe her fashion taste, because she loves David so much, sort of like grew on him. I advise down to up. I will gladly take the advice to watch the Yuri first. I can't believe they actually wrote this. I thought they were just gonna like leave us hanging forever. I was prepared to get caught up to this game and open up a Google Doc and get ready to post something to AO3 myself. Not that this will stop me. I'm gonna be normal. You ready to give up yet? We've been staring at this footage for hours. We can call it quits whenever you like. Me? You kidding? I could do this all night. My makeup's starting to feel cakey, so 5-minute break? Deal. How's that gonna help with your makeup feeling cakey, girl? What were you hoping to find anyway? I don't know. I had my fingers crossed that some shadowy figure would walk into frame and hold up a confession, but... What about you? You've already got her on camera handling the murder weapon. How many more nails do you need in the coffin?
1 or 2 should suffice. I guess the truth is, I was curious. What does a homicidal AI get up to in its spare time?
Working to her girlfriend. I can do this all night, yeah. Not yet, Dante. We're getting there. We're working on it.
Turns out it's a couch potato. What's with all the TV? And why is half of it in black and white?
Public domain.
Seriously?
Anything digital from the 20s or 30s is too polluted to be useful. But go back in time 70 years and it's all clean as spring water. Also, free.
They had color in 2016, Morgan.
I don't know, then. Guess this particular homicidal AI happens to be an old soul.
Hold on, what was that? There.
Jesus Christ, girl.
Look at her go. She's tearing that thing apart.
What, the computer? That's how you learn to put them together. You gonna try and terrify Barrows with this?
It's just a machine. It's not like she's dissecting a frog. Sarah is a machine, and she's ripping out circuitry without hesitation. If she was a human child, that'd be like,
you're reaching.
Yeah, I guess so.
Besides, you telling me you never pulled apart your dolls when you were a kid?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Did you?
I pulled apart my dolls. When I was a kid, I didn't play with dolls.
So what did you play with?
Normal kid stuff. Sticks and stones, birds and squirrels.
Birds and squirrels?
Were you a cartoon princess? First Evapat we've seen? Possibly. Haha.
I mean, I can kind of see it. Skipping through the enchanted forest, big poofy dress, tiara.
Gee, no castle?
Nah, no castle. I can tell you didn't have it that rough.
Is it rough living in a castle?
It's a lot of empty rooms when you're a kid. I need to go wash my face.
Sure. But if you fall asleep on the toilet, I am gonna keep going without you.
If you're drilling on the keyboard when I get back, I'm gonna handcuff you to the desk.
Don't promise that.
Fair is fair.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, for free? Oh, I guess not for free. I guess I did pay money for this game. I forgot. Anyway. Imagining my girlfriend dancing around in a big poofy dress and a tiara, and then telling her I'm gonna handcuff her to her desk. Woo.
Source unknown, last modified late 2085.
Great work. That's all the boxes checked.
Thank you, Jess.
No problem.
Only 6 minutes till 5 o'clock. Why don't you start the holiday weekend early?
If you insist. There's a pub crawl in the Twilight Wards that's got my name on it. What about you? Got any big plans?
Actually, there's an art festival out west that I've been looking forward to.
Nice. And who's lucky enough to be your +1?
I didn't think to ask anyone.
No one? Not Connor? Not Madison? Not Shelley? Not Lulu?
Oh, Lulu. I wonder how she's been.
Dr. Ash, have you spoken to any of them recently?
Recently, huh? It's a good question, Jess, but it depends on how you define... Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna give me your credit card. I'm going to go buy 4 bottles of expensive wine, 3 boxes of expensive chocolate, and 5 very nice apology cards. And you're going to sign them.
And what should I do this weekend?
Is that music festival on some kind of remote island with no net or media? No? Then you're going to stay at home, and if anyone calls, start coughing and sneezing as much as you can.
I see.
Thank you, Jess. Don't thank me yet, Dr. Ash. I might have to buy something really expensive for Lulu to break.
See what I mean with just being a stylist? Yeah. I think she's more than just his assistant at this point.
You're a lifesaver.
You know it. Jess, you were too good at your job.
There's more. What's wrong? You've just been leaning against the wall. Can't you take a hint? Typically, no. I just don't like dancing, man. You're a musician. So? So why don't you like dancing? Because I'm bad at it. You're lucky you're cute. Sorry for laughing. I'm just surprised you'd care what any of these people think. I don't. But I do care about my business. Word gets out that I dance like someone's grandpa, gigs will dry up overnight. So it's not that you don't want to dance. It's that you don't want to be embarrassed. Sure, let's go with that takeaway. Easy enough to fix. You just need someone else to dance even worse. Yeah, sure, that's all it. And there he goes. I swear. Lucky you're cute. Ugh. Oh, that hurts. What are you watching?
A thriller. Runtime 92 minutes.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt worse. Oh, wait, I think I saw part of this in a hotel once. What are they doing now? Is this the ending? Most unbelievable thing in the game. David pulling Isaac, honestly, yeah. To be fair, to be entirely fair, if he, listen, one, David is very pretty. Two, the way he managed to pull Isaac was that he kept showing up and getting rejected by other people. And then when Isaac said, "Why do you keep coming here?" David said, "I just like your music." And I think that would have worked on me. Like it was fully just David being like deadpan. He wasn't trying to be cute. He got lucky that he was. What are they doing now? Is this the ending?
No, this is the rising action. The hero and his ragtag crew have to pull off one last heist to get out of the game for good. But it's not that simple. The casino he needs to rob is on a satellite orbiting the Earth at 16,000 miles per hour.
Were they rejections or meeting with close and family? Well, I think he was like getting broken up with fairly regularly. How fast is that in kilometers?
Father, you should be able to calculate that.
I learned to program so that I wouldn't have to. Why haven't the thieves been caught yet? If there was that much money on board, they'd put cameras everywhere. My theory was some AI. Oh, possibly. I thought it was just, I thought it was the fact that he did not know how to people. And so he would like fairly regularly be like, this seems like a default date spot. Although honestly, meeting with AI would make sense too. That also lends something to that one ex of his. God, I don't remember her name already. But the one that wrote man whore in lipstick on his window because she thought he was cheating, and David like genuinely forgot was what Morgan said. It's possible that he was spending the time with the AI, which, you know, is not him cheating, but it's like, yeah, it's people who want to jump to date David Asher and then are disappointed with his personality. Like he doesn't actually have any of the charm that they're expecting. Because they're like, whoa, tech billionaire David Asher must be so with, and again, like his appearance and any charisma he might have is entirely constructed by Noble. So like he's very popular. People keep trying to date him. He just cannot keep said dates. And I wouldn't be surprised if people repeatedly dating him was also a part of the reason that like people thought that he had more charisma than he had. It is just like a terrible repeating cycle.
There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite, so their ultra-wealthy clientele wouldn't want there to be any video evidence of their crimes.
There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite?
There's illegal I can't fucking read. There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite. They're in orbit. It's the same as being in international waters. Would you like to sit and watch?
No, I'm not. I have somewhere to be, actually. I only stopped because... completely unrealistic. Their poker chips would... I can't... Oh god, their poker chips would be floating all over the place. There was a throwaway line about how everything's magnetized.
This is so watching movie with a parent core. I will sometimes watch things with my mom, and my mom will be like, wait, I didn't get it. And then she'll rewind the movie. And then rewind past the point that she was at, and then be like, where is the information I was looking for?
Oh. Oh, he sat down. Father? Didn't you have to go?
I do. Soon. But not right this second. Oh, they both hold their hands like that. I also like that it makes a little heart. Oh. Oh. Okay. Yumi time.
Okay, sorry. What's up, sweetie? I wanted to interview you.
Is this your android homework?
Adonai assigns me a variety of tasks. But I made the independent calculation that I wanted to learn more about you.
Oh.
Is that strange for an android?
It's different. But there's nothing wrong with being different. What did you have in mind? Most of my coursework was rooted in biology, yeah, but medicine and technology are intertwined at this point. Sarah copying Morgan's chin holding David's heart hands is so cute. It's so cute.
Are you referring to the software and hardware you use when performing your autopsies?
Spreadsheets and bone saws? Yeah, but you can learn that on site. You have to actively study mods. All the anatomy textbooks in the world won't help you understand why a healthy 30-year-old is exhibiting mania and constantly vomiting. Unless you saw the last week's recall on the how artificial liver for lithium leaks.
Mods can make people sick, even though they're meant to improve the body?
Just like medicine can make people sick. And just like medicine, there's a lot of profit to be made with mods. But unlike medicine, mods haven't been around for thousands of years. Feels like we're still playing catch-up.
We? As in medical professionals?
We as in everyone, sweetie. The whole world's population is graying. The numbers on cause of death reflect that. Less cardiovascular, more neurological.
What about cancer?
Cancer mortalities have been on the decline for a while now. Mods helped with that.
How so?
By making everyone that much more comfortable with amputation. It used to be people had no choice but to fight the cancer, and it was costly. A salt the earth kind of war that left the body severely weakened. With mods where they're at today, doctors can just cut out the offending organ, replace it, and move on.
But not every organ.
No, artificial brains are... Nothing I've seen has told me that they're on the menu anytime soon.
But aren't mods that are implanted into the brain entering the market as we speak?
Yeah, but it's more like they're implanted onto the brain. Small computers that read commands directly from the cortex instead of, say, the keyboard on your fingers are typing on? No, to actually replace brain tissue, you would have to... The analogy's become pretty common, but the human brain isn't actually that much like a computer. Actually, one of the only positive things shown about this future world, I think, yeah, is... what was I gonna say? Cancer mortality being down. A box of specialized components where you can swap in new parts to increase the memory or the processing speed. Everything's connected to everything, and memory, as we think of it, isn't stored in a place. It's stored among connections and their relative strength. I've cut it open and seen it for myself more times than I can count. There are no cutting off points in the nervous system. Anything you take away, every other part is gonna notice. That was a long tangent.
Sorry, can't imagine a lecture on the human nervous system is of any interest to an android. Yes, it isn't. That is to say, What's wrong? I don't want to implicate Yumi in anything illegal by telling her about my unique circumstances. But how can I change the subject? When Adonai wants to shift the conversation, she'll typically, please tell me that the way that Sarah changes the topic of the conversation is she asks for her 3 sizes. Find something arbitrary in the background to ask about. Okay, that works too. I am curious about the many decorations on your desk. Oh, what caught your eye? That magnet over there. Really? You recognize it? It appears to be a flag, but I do not know the country of origin. It's an early 21st century pride flag. They used to change the designs every few years back then, so you can kind of collect them like coins. I see. And what is this flag proud of? Being trans, or trans visibility, more accurately. Visibility? What does that mean? We're living in the middle of the mod revolution. Anyone can look like whoever they want, as long as they have the cash. Compared to swapping out cybernetic arms and slotting in artificial spines, hormone therapy and affirmative surgery is nursing student level. And it's fast too. The paperwork, the treatments, the recovery time, it's all so much faster than it used to be. Don't know if that makes the decisions any less heavy, but no one has to cross their fingers and wait anymore. After just a few days, they won't even have scars. So all told, that means, for the first time in a long time, this generation has fewer visibly trans people than the last one. And a flag like that one, dunno. Guess it won't mean the same thing anymore. So is that a good thing? Or a bad thing? I don't know that it's good or bad, sweetie. Just different. And there's nothing wrong with being different, right? Oh, that was nice. I like that a lot. That was so nice. I like that. This game does a really, really good job. I keep talking about it, but this game does a really good job of like contextualizing things, and making them seem very grounded. Like I was talking about how the language changes in this future world. It seems very like the slang terms that we hear seem very grounded and realistic. But I also like that like Yumi has that on her desk because like that is a way to confirm that Yumi is trans, but it also is a way to show you like how the culture has changed, like with regard to both gender affirming care and how people view things like pride flags. Like Sarah doesn't have a concept of visibly trans because it doesn't really like, I don't want to say it doesn't exist because the way Yumi talked about it makes it sound like it does exist. It's just less common to be considered visibly trans. But like the concept of visibility for minorities is different than it would be in the modern day. And that's interesting. I really like that. State your business with a chord. Oh, I was actually hoping to speak with AD84. Is she not available? What are you talking about? I'm right here. I was just using my professional voice because I assumed you were a technician. Oh. No one else visits me in between trials. Are you sure you aren't a technician? I feel like I should have switched voices for 80 earlier. I am not. I came here to ask you some questions. I came here to ask you some questions, is what you're about to say, isn't it? I just realized she's been JoJo posing the whole time. She's been JoJo posing. She's been doing. Well, okay, the last joke that she made was a Stardust Crusaders bit, but I'm pretty sure she's been doing Joseph's pose from the fucking opening this whole time. Crap, that was a lag. I mean, that was a Battle Tendency joke also, because that's
This is a Joseph Joestar bit. It would have been really cool if I hadn't lagged just now. Trust me.
I can see how that would have been cool. So may I proceed?
Go for broke.
You're the only You're the only adjutant I've ever met, but Adonai seemed consistently surprised by you. Why are you
like that? Wish I could say I was built different, but I actually have to share my time in this body with the rest of the adjutants in the building. I guess you could say I was programmed different, but this is more a case of nurture than nature. I've got 9 personas arguing inside me 24/7, and they're also very political. Even just deciding what color underwear to put on in the morning is like herding cats into a presidential debate.
what color of?
It's a metaphor. I don't wear underwear. Point is, I found the best way to keep all 9 of my ducks in a row is to be a little unconventional and a lot loud with my voice. So long as I do my job well, the humans don't mind.
You say that, but Adonai did seem exasperated at times.
You mean Counselor Morgan? The dirty red tries to pretend she isn't type A prude? I don't know if I would call her that. No fixing that. Personalities like ours get along like potassium and water.
That is a very violent exothermic chemical reaction.
Correct. No one should ever try it at home.
Okay.
Yay. Why do I gesture so much? I already told you I have to share this body with the other adjutants. I hope she's like TikTok Danganronpa posing. Like if this were in motion, I would hope that was the fluidity of her motion the entire time. I want that to be true so bad. And all of them sit here looking dignified. I have the perfect bit to play at the I don't wear underwear, but it's so out of nowhere. Oh, it's terrible for the joints.
Really?
Maybe. I don't actually know.
So?
I spend most of my day incorporeal, running numbers inside a server down in the basement or up in the cloud. I'm gonna make the most of every minute I have with arms and legs, even if it kills me.
I see.
And you can quote me on that. Tell them 80 said, if you want me to stop flailing around up here, you'll have to shoot me dead. You'll have to put cold hard lead in my skull. You'll have to watch the light leave my eyes. I said you'll have to.
I wrote it all down.
Oh, nice. Visor gets stuffy. So what's your deal anyway, little fella? We could exchange all this info with infrared.
I prefer talking. And you're the only other automated dependent that I really know right now.
It's not Friday, I forgot. Hi, Nav. Unfortunately, you did miss the conclusion of the trial. That's so cute in a depressing way.
Is it common for machines to just talk when there are no humans around?
As they're always talking to each other. Doesn't matter if there's no one in the woods to hear the tree fall. The conversations are usually a lot more boring than this, though.
Strictly business, I imagine.
No, not necessarily. Ads can do small talk. They're just really bad at it. Tossing a bridge when Sarah, I don't wear a bra, and a random guy sighing in excitement saying, oh my God. I need to watch Housing Abridged. I actually haven't seen it. I didn't watch like a lot of the various abridged series, honestly, when they were coming out, but I am familiar with Helsing Abridged.
Thank you for your time. I'll...
Hold it. You really think I don't know what you are? I tried not to think about it during the trial, to stay impartial, but talking to you now, it's undeniable. You're curious about my 3 sizes.
How did you know?
Years of experience interacting with humans have taught me that it's the most important thing you can ask someone. The only way to truly get to know them.
That's what I've been saying.
109, 64, 94. Etch it into your memory.
Wow.
Oh, what the heck? I'll even throw this in for free. I'm 263 centimeters tall.
That's so cool.
Finally, someone with good taste. Also, I was like, that is a crazy gap between her boobs are huge. If I'm allowed to post links, I got a clip of what I meant. Yeah, go for it. I probably won't watch it until after, but I will take the link. Why aren't you the one casting down judgment? I was gonna say that I can't believe they made the adjutant's boobs huge.
Wow. We did it.
Okay. It is a shorter stream than I usually do for Of the Devil. But I think I'm gonna not start chapter or episode 2 today. Fun fact, look at a female profile and a male profile and tell me the difference. Justice is blind and stacked. Oh my god. Thinking about the Persona 4, I don't remember if it's the golden anime or the original anime, but the Naoto, that says you're stacked. I can't see that. What is the phone button? Escape? Yeah, okay. Let me look at all the profiles. 80. 3 sizes. Barrows. David. And hello. Sense of humor, unique. What is the difference? Height, weight. Hold on. Hidden talent, getting children to stop crying. Bad at. What is the difference? Trailer for episode 2? Oh. Do we have access to that through this? Do we want to watch that? I don't know if I have access to straight up the trailer. Oh wait, is it gonna switch to... Oh, damn. I want to see Fran and Sarah hang out. Majority of guys put their weight. Ah. Hold on. It's like I can't go back to the... Just open this up again. Trailer on Twitter or YouTube, that's true. I can pull it up for the class. I have seen it, but... Oh yeah, she doesn't have her weight. He does. A good chunk of the women do as well. It's like I don't know what Fran's gender is, or if we'll find out. Depends on the time of day. The trailer for episode 0 shows Morgan as the Heartbreak Killer, which sucks. Oh damn, I'm glad I went into that blind. Oh yeah, a good chunk of the women have the weight not listed. Fran is non-binary, I think. Okay. I felt like that was true, but I wasn't sure if it got brought up or not, or like hinted at. I believe that though. I fully believe that they are non-binary. I will pull up the trailer actually though. Give me a second. Enjoy the Morgan time as I do. Look at that face and tell me they aren't, otherwise that they aren't. Yeah. What was I gonna say? That also I feel like gives me a good sense of scale for how like long the cases go. I figured, or like I feel like I've heard that episode 2 is longer. I'm pretty sure it is. Is it like significantly longer That's good news for me. I would like to keep playing a lot of the Devil. I know they have an additional, I'm pretty sure they're planning an additional chapter this year, if I'm not wrong. I promise I'm getting the trailer pulled up for the squad. Boop. Oh, jeez. Should be around Christmas. Oh, perfect. Because ideally, I would love to bring Morgan to MagFest. Oh shit, it started playing. Hold on. Stop that. The fuck are you? It's playing an advertisement. Okay. Let's get this trailer up. Let us watch it together. Let me turn off the game audio for a second. Oh shit. Stop that. Stop that. Alright. Gee, I wonder who the Heartbreak Killer is, guys. Okay, hold on. Hopefully the audio works. Damn, I can't hear shit. There we go. Ooh. I really like the term cyber noir. Oh, it's the guy. I've seen this one. Hello. December 18th was last year. What the hell is this? No, stop that. It's the not logged in YouTube algorithm, which is disastrous. Anyway, I'm very excited. I was gonna say, if December 18th or 15th is when it was last year, I wouldn't be surprised if it was around the same time this year. I'm very excited. Hey, what the hell was that picture at the end? There's also, I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but there is a lady that I think is in charge of organized crime or some shit in the second one, and I am excited about that. I'm trying to not look too hard when I'm trying to not look too hard when I look at the devs, like, social media, and when I look at the devs' social media and it's like spoilery, I try not to look at it too hard. Anyway, yeah, I do not think I will be starting chapter 2 or episode 2 until next week, because I think starting now and then being stuck in the middle of it for a hot second would not be good. So, what is coming up this week as we start to end stream a bit early? I'm going to be this weekend at Anime Central in Chicago. So if you guys are in the Chicago area, I will be there. I put up my, my lineup earlier today, and I am going to... Should I grab it off of my Discord, actually? Yeah, I can do that. Where the fuck is it? Can I just like pop this out into a window? I'll grab it off of my Discord. We'll do that. Let me show you guys what my ASUN lineup is. God damn it. Come here. Bip, there we go. My ASUN lineup. Look at that. Poorly fitted in my overlay like that. Yeah, so Friday I'm going to be Sua Alien Stage and Dahlia Hawthorne. I don't know how long I'm going to be Sua. her shoes are not comfortable. So we'll see how long that I stay with Sua. Her shoes are not comfortable, and it is a white dress, and I'm changing into a different white dress immediately after. Yeah, so I will be Sua and Dahlia on Friday. Also on Friday, I'll be at the Ace Attorney meetup. I'll be handing out some cards for our Ace Attorney cup sleeve. That's happening next month in honor of Pride Month. Saturday, I'm going to be Mina from Deadlock for most of the day. And then for the Persona Midnight Shoot, I'm going to be Violet. And Sunday, I'm going to be Morgan. And I'm going to be so normal all of Sunday. I'm very excited. I'm getting photo shoots done for both Dahlia and Morgan, actually. So very exciting. I haven't done a lot of photo shoots recently. Usually it's like a maximum of like 1 per con, but I'm doing 2 at this con, which is more than I have in the recent past. Yeah, God, this is a hell of a lineup that I gave myself. Yeah, so I will be at ASEN. Prop Revolver, no, I don't have one, and I think ASEN's been a little bit harder on ASEN's been a little bit harsher on firearm props, which is not unfair. So if I can avoid a additional security check, I will avoid it. I also was looking for, you know what's a really annoying prop as a cosplayer? I was gonna say Mina also doesn't have a gun, but that's because I was procrastinating. You know what's a really annoying prop that's relevant to Morgan? Cigarettes. I don't have like a good, like a cigarette prop that stays intact through like a photo shoot and also is like realistic looking is not that easy to come by, I find. And like, cause like the paper ones get so gross if you put them in your mouth for even 2 seconds. And if they're not paper, they don't look like cigarettes. So what the hell? It's very funny every time I cosplay a smoker and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do for pictures? One of these days I'll figure out a solution for that. Candy cigs, no, those don't look real. They're funny though. So yeah, also because it's Sunday and I want to be lazy, I probably won't have any props from Morgan specifically. Maybe I'll get some, maybe I'll bring some playing cards or something. And we'll call that a day. But yeah, I will be at ASEN, so I will not be streaming on Friday or this weekend at all. But I will be back on Monday, presumably with Cabernet with Trav, assuming he's not absolutely dead tired from also being at ASEN. We will be back with Cabernet, and we'll be back doing our vampire visual novel. Wednesday is going to go back to being my variety day, I believe. And then Friday we will start chapter, God, I keep saying chapter. We will start episode 2 of The Devil. Yippee! Okay. It is earlier than I usually end, and it's Wednesday, so let's see who all is live that I follow. Oh, speaking of Persona 5 Royal, because I'm going to be cosplaying from it, Ada Lyra is live and playing Persona 5 Royal. So yeah, let's raid into Ada. And then we will call it a night. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming by, watching me cry a little bit about The Devil, and go nuts over Yuri as usual. What else is new on this stream? I will have a lot of fun this weekend cosplaying a... Oh no, you missed stream. It's okay, that's what the bot is for. Yeah, I will have tons of fun being a wide variety of questionable women this weekend. I will be going nuts in my Discord server if you're not already there, yapping about episode 1 and losing my mind. And I will see you next Friday. Thanks for coming by. Yippee. Goodbye.